Hi, welcome back to our Vitalise Daily Devotionals, where this week we have been exploring the theme of forgiveness. And in particular, when we choose to forgive, we can find a freedom in that choice in our lives. And I wanted just to end this series this week by looking at the life of Jesus, at the practices of Jesus. And in particular, we're going to go to the Gospel of Matthew and look at what Jesus says when he asks us to forgive one another. The events that are recounted in Matthew 18, verses 21 to 35, begin with one of Jesus' followers, one of Jesus' disciples, Peter, asking him this question. He says, "Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? Up to 7 times? And Jesus answers, I tell you, not 7 times, but 77 times. Jesus then goes on to tell a parable, a story with a message that unpacks a little bit of the point that he is trying to make. In this story, there is a king who wanted to collect the debts of all his servants, and each of the servants had to go before the king and pay him what they owed. If they could not pay, the custom was to be thrown into prison until the debt could be paid. One of the servants owed a great deal of money to the king. The Bible says that the debt was equal to 10,000 bags of gold. Now, I don't have 10,000 bags of gold, but I do have one large flower pot. So I'm just going to show you that pot for a moment, and that is going to represent the debt that this servant owed the king. So here is my large flower pot. Hopefully you get a good glimpse of that from my garden, still dirty. Enormous, an enormous pot. When the king learned that the servant couldn't pay his debt, he ordered that all of the man's possessions be sold. On top of that, the man, his wife and his children were ordered to be sold as slaves. The servant fell to his knees and begged the king to have mercy on him. And in Matthew 18 verse 27 it says, "The servant's master took pity on him, cancelled the debt and let him go." Can you believe that? The massive debt was erased and the man was free to go. After he left, that servant went and found another man who owed him money. The Bible tells us that this man owed him around 100 silver coins. Now, you remember my large flower pot I've just shown you. So in comparison, the debt that this man owed the servant looked like that. The man fell to his knees and begged for mercy because he couldn't pay the debt. Sound familiar? But what happened at the end of this story? In Matthew 18 verse 30 it says, "But he refused. Instead, he went off and had the man thrown into prison until he could pay the debt. When the other servants saw what had happened, they were outraged, and they went and told their master everything that had happened. Then the master called the servant in. 'You wicked servant,' he said, 'I cancelled all that debt of yours because you begged me to. Shouldn't you have had mercy on your fellow servant just as I had mercy on you?' And in anger, his master handed him over to the jailers to be tortured until he could pay back all that he owed." Do you know, the man was forgiven so much, and yet he couldn't forgive someone else for something so much smaller. And the point that Jesus was making was that we have been forgiven for so much by God. He chose to love us and forgive and offer us forgiveness for our sin. And if we've been forgiven so much, how can we not forgive someone else who has done something wrong to us? Forgiveness is always the best option. It's not the easiest option, but it's what Jesus asks us to do, and it holds the power for freedom in our own lives. I wonder, as we've explored the theme of forgiveness this week, whether there has been a person or a situation that has come to mind where you know you need to make a choice to forgive in order to experience that freedom in your own life. There will be a blog post up tomorrow on our website, so do check that out. It just explores and unpacks a little bit more about what we've been exploring this week. But thanks for joining me today.